Hey, this is Eric Hunter here, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about these pendants that I create, these energy pendants. I want to explain to you what they are, how I make them, and also how they can benefit you by wearing them because they're super cool and they're something kind of amazing that I just accidentally discovered while, making these things, that they're actually really good for balancing out the human energy field. So the story is that when I was younger, I used to find arrowheads on the ground. So these were, points that were made by native peoples who lived in North America, where I live. And these things were thousands of years old in some cases. The oldest one I ever found was 10,000 years old. And it just blew my mind that people were making these stone tools and leaving them on the ground for people like me to find hundreds or thousands of years later. So what I did was I became fascinated with them and I just started making them as a hobby. I learned the skill of making them. And let me just show you how that works. So basically you take a rock that's shaped like this. You just have a rock that's been broken off, and only special types of rock will work for this. They're typically called cherts or flints. Anyway, so you take a rock like this and then use a hammer. It can be like a deer antler or a copper hammer to break off the high points, these bumps. You flatten the stone out basically. And here I'll show you what the flat ones look like. So here are a bunch of ones that I made flat. They're originally round like that one I showed you before, and then I make them flat. And then once they're flat, you can shape them into a point. You can shape them into an arrowhead shape, and then you can put notches on them. And then in prehistoric times, people would put them on a stick. So let me just show you one here. So here's would be like a shaft of a spear or an arrowhead. You put that point in there, and then you would wrap it with sinew, which is like string. And then this could be like a spear point or a knife or an arrowhead, depending on the size of the object and what they wanted to use it for. So it basically was a prehistoric tool. All right, so I was making these things for a while just because I was fascinated by them. I thought they were cool. They're really hard to find. And then I discovered I could just do this as a hobby. So I thought, wow, that's really fun. But then fast forward, I'm really into energy and energy healing, and I'm very sensitive to energies. And one day I discovered kind of accidentally that you could wear this as a necklace and it will balance out your energy field and really make you feel good. So the way it works is that each one has different properties. It's kind of like a crystal in that sense, but these are not actually crystals. They may have some crystals inside, but none of these types of stones are true crystals. But like a crystal, each one has an effect on your energy field. And what I notice is that when you put one of these things close to your energy field, if you're sensitive to energy, you will notice it right away. You will feel it as it comes in, and you'll feel it on you, and it feels very pleasant. They're grounding. They're mildly energizing. Some are more energizing than others. Some are actually calming or soothing. And some of them will affect the heart chakra, and you'll feel like you're more in your heart, more heart-centered. It just depends on the particular stone. Each one is different. So let me show you a few of them here. So this is one I recently made. This one this one's really cool. It's like both calming and energizing at the same time. So you get very nice, it has a very nice effect on your energy field because you don't feel amped or jacked or anything like that, but you just feel like you're calm, but you have energy and you can do what you need to do, and it grounds you. And the grounding, I think it's partly due to the fact that they're stones, which come from the earth, but also they're pointed down. So energetically, it's like pointing you down to the ground. And a lot of us spiritual types are up here all the time. So when you put on a piece of the earth that's pointing down, it kind of helps you get a little bit more in your body and a little bit more grounded. Okay, so this is one. I got a few more I'll show you here. So here is another one I made. And so this one has a different effect on you than the previous one. Each one of these is subtly different. So what I do is I write descriptions on my website about what effect it has when you put it on. And each one is very different. It's really cool. Let me show you a few more here. So I've got lots of them because I make them all the time. Um, let's see, here are some other ones. So each one is different, and I wrap them with some brass wire. And what I found that does is the brass, it looks pretty and it holds them very securely, but also this is pretty conductive. It's not super conductive like copper is, but just mildly conductive. And so it just kind of gives it a little energy boost, but it stays within the pendant because the pendant itself is on a string, which is insulated. So it doesn't travel up through the pendant, but it just kind of keeps the energy going around while you're wearing it. So it has a nice effect that way. This one here is particularly powerful. This one here. Um, I have the description on my website to get the full thing, but this has a really strong effect, this one. This one here, I really love this one. It's very subtle. It's shaped after a Native American style called the Osceola style. This one here is a beautiful one. I call it the wolf. It has a very nice energy. Here's another one of these ones. It's like the purple warrior or something. It's got the beautiful purple stripe on it. But like I said, it has a really nice effect on the energy field. So every one of these has a different energetic effect. When you wear them, it helps you feel calm. It helps you feel grounded. They're really good. And if you're really impacted by energy, so like I'm really impacted by other people's energy and also energy from the collective. Like there's so much crazy stuff going on right now in the collective that like it's having a massive impact on my energy. And I'm doing a lot of pendulum work around it. But what I've found is that, the pendulum helps a lot, but there's so much change happening all the time. It's like nonstop change that I can't do the pendulum fast enough to keep up with all of the change. So in addition to the pendulum work, I've been wearing these necklaces that I've created, these pendants, and it's a passive way to kind of balance out your energy, keep you grounded, keep you calm. In some cases, connect you more with your heart. In some cases, give you more of an energetic boost. In some cases, just relax you more. You have to read the description for each one about what they do. Whatever you need, it can provide it, but it's passive. So you don't have to constantly be doing the pendulum all the time. The other thing is they just look really cool. I mean, they're kind of tribal looking and they're very decorative. They're very pretty. I really take pride in my work. You see like these little lines that go across the surface here. Like in your skilled in this, that's considered a mark that like it's well made, having those little like ripple lines. And I make them out of really beautiful stone. They're all like jaspers, like really fancy stones that are like gemstones. So really beautiful traditional objects made with nice stones. They have great energy. So I just wanted to let you know about these a little bit because you might be wondering like, well, why is he having these? Like, is this a pendulum group or this guy's into pendulums? What's going on here with Eric? The reason I have them is because they're a great supplement or a great complement to the pendulum. They're a passive way to quickly regulate your energy field in ways that are beneficial so that you'll feel better, your day will go smoother, and they're just fun. They look really cool, and they're just nice to wear. So that's why I have them. It's a great complement to the pendulum offerings that I have. And if you're interested, I have these on my website. So they're under energy pendants. Just check them out. There are different prices for each one. The price is based on the rarity of the stone, the qualities that it has, just a bunch of factors, different factors. I try to make them as affordable as possible, but a lot of time goes into these. It takes me about an hour to make each one, and you wouldn't believe how many of them I break trying to get one to come out good. It's definitely not an easy process. Let's put it that way. And it takes skill. It's taken me several years to learn how to get these to this point. And like I said, I don't put them all up for sale on my website, only the ones that have really good energy. So I cherry pick the ones that are on my website. They have been cherry picked. Not only do they look good, but their energy is really good. It's super important to me because even if it looks good, if it doesn't have a good effect on the energy field when I test it out, I don't sell it because I only sell stuff I really believe in. All my pendulums, all my courses, all my books. The reason I do is because I believe in it. I've tested it myself. I've let other people try it. They agree with me that it's having some effect that's beneficial or that it works. And so I feel confident selling these. So I really check them carefully. So if it's on the website, you know it's good. It's not just some random thing, because you can get arrowheads easily like on Etsy or eBay or at like craft stores and stuff, but they don't really have good energy, most of them. And they're just like random rocks that were made, and they weren't really made with care or the skill. Like a lot of love goes into making these, a very high level of consciousness. It's my passion. I'm passionate about it. I view them with my energy. And, like they're really good for that sense, like spiritual tools almost. And you can really tell it. There's a big difference between one of these and like a $5 one or something you find in a craft store. They just don't have the same energy. And not to knock that, but these have energy more like the original ones. Like when you go out and find one in a field, those have really good energy, those ancient ones, because those people who are making them back then, they really put a lot of care into it, a lot of thought, special stones that they chose. It was, and so a lot of them you find are ceremonial too. Like I used to find these quartz ones in Georgia that were beautiful, and they were made strictly for ceremony. So a lot of the showier ones that the native peoples made were actually used in ceremonial practices done by the ancient peoples. So super cool. Just thought I'd share with you. And if you have any questions or comments, just post them below. I'd love to answer them, or you can just email me. And I'm constantly updating my website with different ones that I've created. So like I have a whole box of them here of ones that are ready to go right now. Let me just show you some of them for fun. So here's like a beautiful white one. I still haven't mounted that yet. Here's another really beautiful white one that I made. This one's more like almost like a knife almost, but its energy is really good. Let's see here. Let's get another one. Oh, this is a really pretty one here that I made. It's kind of like a spear point almost. It's more elongated. That's another beautiful one. Here is a purple one. It's really good energy. So like I said, I've got lots of these, and I'm constantly updating my website because I haven't got them all up there. I just don't have time to do it. So I try to make them as fast as I can, but I can only do it so quickly. So just check back if you don't see one that you like. Just check back at a later date, because eventually there'll be one up there that will be for you. And that's the way you pick these things. Just intuitively, do it intuitively. You could read the descriptions and say like, hey, does that description sound like what I'm looking for? Like, do I want to calm myself down? Do I want to get a little bit of a boost? Do I want to get more in my heart? Those, and they're all grounding, so that's a given for all of them. But then there's like nuances about what each one does. So you just read the descriptions and then just use your intuition and try to see like, which one do I feel drawn to? Because the one that you feel drawn to will probably have the best effect on your energy. And that's what I found. It's going to differ slightly for each person, how it affects your energy field, but the description should be pretty accurate. And these are really cool to wear. Like, you can wear them in ceremony. You can just wear them as decorations. I just wear them around the house, or I wear them when I go out in public. Especially out in public, I wear them because, like I said, I'm really sensitive to other people's energies out in public. So I want to make sure that I have some grounding and some, passive balancing of my energy field going on. Well, thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I appreciate you spending the time to watch this. Have a great day. Bye.